What up, y'all? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. Thank you guys for being here, being a part of all that we do. Let me cut this down. I don't know what the copyright might be on this. You know, everything like to shut down real quick. I think it's free of copyright, but then they'll YouTube and Facebook will be like, you're wrong. All right, so appreciate you guys for being here. Another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. We're gonna have an amazing conversation today. We got to see. My brothers may be running a little bit, just a tad bit, just a wee bit late. So I appreciate you guys for being here and being a part of all that we do. So what I need you to do right this very moment to make sure you are sharing, because sharing is what? Say it with me, caring. And my text message hasn't gone out yet. I don't know. It's not my fault. I did it this time. All right, so let's do this. Let's move this over here because me looking over to the side. Caring, right, Jeff? Sharing is caring. Okay, boom. I sent it different. I wasn't sure he was going to get it. Wonderful. Let's do this. Bam. So we can change to this. Bam. So that's the link to piece. Awesome. Let's do that. All right. Welcome. And my thing is doing this thing. So if I'm breaking up, at least if you could still hear me, that's what matters. Doesn't matter. You don't need to see me. So again, make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. We are moving along. Man, did you know we averted almost everything's like World War III, but almost a World War III? I just found this out today. Apparently, 2 Russian rockets hit. It sounds like we're in school. Sharing is caring class, right? Today, kids, sharing is caring. You do that by hitting the share link on whatever app you're on, Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn. Make sure you hit the share app. And if you really care, you would put somebody's name in so they see it like you see it. And we all got to do it like that. We all enjoy it. Oh, I'm sorry. Right? There we go. Listen, Jeff. I see Jeff. I see. All right. I know. That's really aging. How old is Romper Room? Because I feel like I was watching reruns. I don't know. By the time I started, I see Jeff. I see Jeffy. I see Reese. You know, I had a name like Anthony, so I always got called. I always got called. Oh, bro. Oh, right. Listen, whatever it is to make you smile. So yeah, like you gotta open it up. Gotta listen. Shout out to children programming, man. It helped us a lot. I don't care what they say. It helped us tremendously. You know, made us smile and just. She said my name. That's all we needed. Just shout me out. That's all I needed. So today we're talking about, speaking of children, today we're discussing, do our children recognize our efforts? Do our children recognize our efforts? 1950s, early 60s? Really? Is it that old? I mean, I was watching on PBS. My channel was 13, but PBS, you know, it's hard to tell sometimes. Like, how old is the show? When you're young, you're just like, man, this show, you know. Wow, 50s or 60s, he said. So do our children recognize your efforts? I was trying to have Kaneem. This came from Kaneem. He might be busy today. So we'll parlay some of it and we'll get his answer. Okay, there goes my text. So let's go ahead and get started. Kick this off. Wow. That's telling, sir. That is I didn't realize that. He said I was 4 when I watched, and I'm 67. Interesting. I wonder if it's been the same lady. It didn't, from my recollection, first I look on YouTube, like, wow, that was an old show. It didn't seem that old. Hey, Mama Corey, great morning to you. Thank you for being here. So let's go ahead and kick this off real quick. You know how we do the countdown, the welcome, and all that, and then some. and just share. Listen, it's gonna be about 30 seconds. We won't be long. So Pastor Corey is waiting in the wing. We're gonna go ahead and kick this off. So we'll be right back right after this. So this is your time to what? Share. Boom! What's up, everybody? Good morning.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. It's Thursday.
Wonderful
So,
people.
as some people call it, Friday Junior. I guess it's that affirmation to make you feel like we're almost to the weekend. That's just for those that, where the weekend matters. To me, it's every day is the same. Every day is just different levels of work.
Right.
And listen, just for the record, I'm not complaining. I'm happy about my life. It's a little different now. Oh, Jeff said, I love the bike in the background. Yes, indeed.
I love that bike in the background too. Thank you.
Right. Oh, sorry, Deborah. She said Friday Eve. Friday. And it's funny. That's when my children like one more day, and then it's even worse because I can't believe next week is Thanksgiving.
Is
Did y'all
it?
know that? Next week.
Oh, I was gonna say next week is my birthday, but it is it's a great reason to give thanks.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The birthday is coming up next week for Pastor Brian A. McCrory. So make sure we celebrate. We're gonna celebrate. We're gonna have a celebrate. So my children are excited. Of course, they're gonna be off. Yeah, they're off for the week because of Pastor's birthday. They're off. Everybody's off.
Isn't that something? All you all get off because it's my birthday.
Look what you did, Mama Corey. Mama Corey, this is her. She did this.
Genius. The gift that keeps giving.
Right. He said, "Happy birthday, Pastor 28."
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna go with. Yeah.
What he said.
Don't look at the gray. Don't look at the gray. We're just going there. All right. So today we are discussing do our children recognize our efforts? And I know it's kind of He said, it said plus tax. And a couple of, and he said and a couple of rebates. So yeah, we are. I don't know. Kaneem threw it out there, and I was like, that's an interesting topic. From two perspectives. I'll say we can discuss. From our perspective, how we grew up, and did we see it, and from now, do we feel like our children recognize our efforts? My daughter says yes, because she was here while I was putting the topic up. She's like, "Yeah, Dad, I see it." But I think a lot of times is, do we feel it? Like, we've had moments, wife and I, and when they were younger, I give them credit. It was young. They were younger, but we would go somewhere. Like, we have a darn near jam-packed kid day. From one thing to something else, do something else. And then, like, they want to do something, we say no, and they like, oh, we're like, wait a minute, we've been out all day for you, like, this right here, no, all this right here, does it? Because you didn't get this thing, but we did all this, like, in our minds, how we compare and look at, things and how children receive or are receptive, and it doesn't mean I don't know, I guess necessarily they didn't appreciate all the things we were doing. It's just, I thought I was going to get this extra.
What have you done for me lately, Janet Jackson?
Right. Right. What have you done in that moment? And so I'll start off, she was with, now. So I would start off, I think, as, growing up, for me, having my mom and dad, do I see that effort? I would say, I thought about what they did as far as the work. For them, of course, by the time I came around, my mom had me at 39, so she was older. They were pretty much settled in their careers and jobs. My mother probably working 15 years already, like, they were settled. My dad had been driving the bus for a minute. And, they were like 8 to 5ers almost. My dad would leave at like 6. He would get home maybe around 5. I remember eating dinner every night together. So he would get home at a good time. Like, so I've seen what they did. I think the recognizing of efforts comes more after. Like, when you're trying to have these levels of schedule and you realize, ooh, those schedules don't come easy. Like, y'all had the perfect flow, like, and it doesn't come easy like that. So you realize the efforts maybe later. He said, AD, your middle name ain't Ops, is it? What? I got it. The joke went over my head. I got to catch it. He said, your middle name ain't Ops. I got to think about that one. Dad, I really appreciate your no at this time. Right. It says Jeff, imaginary child. Right. He said, oh, hey, middle name, oops. All right, let's get Mr. Reparations, a.k.a. Ephraim, in the building. What's up, sir?
Top of the morning, fellas. How y'all be?
Good to see you, sir.
Yes, sir. Good to be seen.
So we're talking about do our children recognize our efforts? So, and for you, Pastor, I don't want to just like skip over, but like you growing up, seeing your mom do a lot, do the work, and even for you, Ephraim, seeing your parents, did you recognize the effort? Like, for me, I don't know if I did. Like, of course, you want to say, yeah, man, I seen it all. I was a perfect kid. I did exactly what they said. I seen it all. But that, I don't think that's necessarily true. But I don't think I was disrespectful or spoiled from it. I don't know. Maybe I didn't recognize it enough. But more or less, like I said, I've seen it more after, growing up. You realize, wow, they figured it out. Moments you're like, how'd y'all figure that out? Like, how'd you get it to fit perfectly in my school schedule? How'd you get, like, how do you get that? Like I was never home like alone. Like it just worked out.
Mhm.
So it's those moments that you kind of recognize more of the effort as an adult. So for you guys, do you feel like you recognize those efforts when you were younger?
I saw. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
No, please.
I I saw some things that I appreciated in comparison
Okay.
to my friends.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know what I
That's
mean?
big.
Like, and I'm just getting into the topic, but just the first thoughts that are coming to my mind that I'm coming back to is just, who had a mom and a dad, who just had a dad, who just had a mom. So I already started small comparisons, just like structurally, right?
Right.
But I don't think, and Pastor helped me clean up the word. I don't know how to really say it. I don't think I was just like, I don't think I could comprehend
Mhm.
in that position what they had to go through. I can see her put food on the plate
Mm,
and say thank you, but to understand clocking in,
right.
bosses, co-workers, skipped over promotions,
Right.
uh, that this isn't for filet mignon, you know what I'm saying? That they have,
Right.
like, I just couldn't.
Or opportunities turned down because I got children.
You feel what I'm
Like
saying?
I can't do this.
I
Right.
wasn't in their position enough to appreciate it
Right.
the way
Right.
that I appreciate it now.
Right.
I'm with you. I don't, I had some moments, of course, but I mean, I feel overall, I ain't giving too much problems. You know what I mean? So I
I
saw
like it.
what they did.
Yeah.
My father, uh, one day there was, I lived on, I lived on Fifth Court, but at this time I wasn't on Fifth Court, right? I
Right.
was on Sixth Street,
Right.
and they, we outside playing football, and they start shooting, right? My father comes one street over with a pistol in his hand. It's like some shacks, like the all black shacks you got from Kmart.
Right.
Um, some Fubu, like when they had the Fat Albert on it, like
Yes.
just like like no street style at all. Pistol in his hand, grabs me, bro. I'm a teenager, something, 14, 15, feeling too old. I'm talking to females, feeling too old to be but my daddy comes and he grabs me by the hand like a like yeah, you walk a
Okay.
little kid across the street, walks me. We didn't even say a word to each other. I saw him with the pistol. He saw me. He didn't say nothing to my friends or nothing. Grabbed me by my hand, walked me like a little 2-year-old back over to the house,
Wow.
and that was it, right? So I knew that they had my back. I knew they protected me. I knew they came through for me.
Right.
But like what drove that, I just couldn't. They did it so well. I just thought that's what everybody does, right? I
Right.
I, I
Ooh,
just I
that's good.
couldn't
That's good.
comprehend
That's
that
good.
you got choices, that I
Right.
could choose to leave my family, that I could
Right.
choose to be sorry, that I could,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like I just couldn't appreciate it at that
Right.
age.
Right. Indeed.
Fully
Yeah.
appreciate. You get what I'm
Right.
saying?
That's
Like,
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's a proper statement to say that you couldn't fully appreciate it
Yeah.
because you were a child.
Right.
right.
And
Limited.
I don't believe that children are mature enough to really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
children are designed to take you for granted.
Right.
Yeah. The game
uh,
is rigged that way.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah,
The
yeah.
game is rigged. Right.
I think that was the Lord's way of like, yo, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
But I think what's more apparent to me is that the evidentiary proof
Hmm.
that parents have major influence
Mhm.
on their children's behavior.
Right.
When you think we were just talking about gene pool, genetic makeup,
Right.
Hmm.
and what gets passed down, and what I'm saying is that impacts behavior
Right.
in children, your
Yep.
genetic makeup, right?
Right.
But what I've learned, and I heard what you said, being the son of a teacher in early childhood education, my mother spent every day, all day, praising children.
Right.
Right? That's a
Yep.
wonderful job. You can do it, honey.
Yeah.
That was my mother at
Right.
work, and so that was my mother in a lot of cases at home, unless we
Right.
messed up.
Right.
So the ability to learn, to appreciate, recognize, acknowledge that's learned behavior.
Right.
So if you're surrounded by that type of behavior, then that's what you will exude.
Right.
Is
Right.
any of it slowed down because parents don't show
Yes,
everything? Yeah, okay.
absolutely. Because who's the greatest influence on a child?
The parent. Yeah.
Parents.
A present parent, right?
President, yeah.
When you're there every day and you're in the child, you're rearing that child, or you're nurturing that child, the child adapts and picks up your behavioral patterns.
Pastor, I want to push back on something you said a while ago. We were talking, who knows when, I don't know, but you were saying that you let your girls sometimes see the bills so that they can kind of comprehend this request with this income or this financial obligation, right? And I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember our exact time we had this conversation, but what's the balance between that? What's letting them see so they get that real world picture and letting them stay a kid? You know what I mean? Like how you balance
That's
that out?
That's good.
Well, I didn't do that until they were old enough to get a part-time job.
To do something about the bill. Okay. All right.
Right. So when they start talking about, things that have to do with the cost of living,
Mhm.
then I'm able to show them realistically, taxes, what you make is not what you take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. and the minute you pay gas to get to the job.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm letting them know, like, you like watching cable television here.
Right.
So when they start talking about college and whether they want to be in college or what they want to do with their lives, here's what bills look like.
Right.
To help you understand, the lifestyle that you have here is a lifestyle that you have to work for.
Right.
It doesn't just happen. You're not going to get this at McDonald's.
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of the purpose for me sharing that. And then as they get older, they learn to prioritize needs versus wants.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a big lesson to learn.
Yeah. And that's why I showed them bills, because
like
they were close enough to getting out there and having to pay bills.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, that tied into something AD was saying yesterday, and I was trying to jump in the show as bad as I could. But like you always hear about that child's place, right? The hard thing to navigate is like those ages, like
When you start sharing.
when do you start sharing? When is the child ready enough? And it's so it's great because it's not all one. Everybody was ready at a different age. Kaneem was saying he felt like a man at 27, but he'd been on his own since like 17. You get what I'm saying? So there's, but even he himself said he wasn't ready then. So like, or considered himself a man then. So I think that's one of the challenges. Like you want to expose your kids so that they're not green, because this is a mean world.
Yeah.
But I love that my baby just want to play with ponies right now. But when is pony time over? You know what I mean? So like navigating through those, discerning that, figuring that part out is, it's.
But that's where, how they play, it gets factored in, right? Like you can buy a child play money, and you can conduct transactions,
Like,
play store, buy a car. They learn budgeting playing with dolls. Dolls need clothes.
Yeah.
Dolls need shoes.
Right.
You want to do their hair. Are you going to do your own hair? You're going to pay for me to do your hair. I mean, it's all kinds of ways that you can, teach. Yeah. Everything has learning value.
Right.
And that's how I look at it without being too extreme.
Yeah. That's I feel you on that one, just to show them. And it's funny, like I remember the first time I think I mentioned rent or something of that nature, and my kid was like, "What you got to pay every month?" And then I realized, like, you don't know.
They don't even fathom.
You have no idea that. Like every check I got to build up to.
But I thought this was our house.
Right.
That don't sound like a good idea. Huh?
Right.
Every month, good.
Yeah. Like even listen, we had the cable discussion. Like, oh, we wanted to watch such and such, but it's on this service. It's another subscription. I was like, you know how much that costs? So let's break down how much each of these subscriptions cost. So we've been having a negotiation. Like, we got to get rid of something if you want that. Then mom was like, nope, because I like that. Like, so, but it's having those financial discussions and money discussions, it's important, you know, for them to know. But like you said, not to, because I think I started to really overshare at one point, you know, with the children. My wife's like, you don't want to put the stress on them. You just want them to
Yeah,
kind of know what it is. I was like, I got you. I
Yeah.
just listen.
Right. Well, you know, if
But
you're saying like, can anybody afford it? Look how much I gotta pay over here. Look at it.
Right.
That ain't it. That's
Yeah.
not it.
Listen, I'm about to be like my man from Everybody Hates Chris. That's 25 cents a light right
Bro,
there.
you better ask these kids. I walk around saying that, bro. I be looking in the trash and everything. Like, y'all done threw $6 worth of food away over here.
Y'all better eat that. Y'all better eat the end of those bread. Eat the end of the bread.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's but once again, I'm saying that's the balance, right? So
Yes.
like when you're a kid, you know, parents are trying to provide like a spiritual foundation, or like maybe somebody won't even deem it spiritual, but like your philosophy, right? How this family feels about life. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So like that's like a foundation piece. And then you have a few years where you just enjoy being a kid. I put you in some sports, and after that, money is right around the corner, you know,
Right.
and we're trying to get the kids to understand you know, credit scores and all that or whatever. Or you at least try, you know, people, you know, everybody got stories of stuff being in their name at 9 years old. So it's those jam-packed lessons that you're trying to build into somebody for like 18 years. What going on, man?
What's going on, gentlemen?
Can't call it.
Sir, you know it's cold outside.
I'm out here in these streets trying to keep warm.
I see you, man. I see you.
I'm
Boy, cold out here.
gonna just point out this is Georgia cold, guys. This is
It-
cold.
It's plenty of cold for me then.
This
That's-
is
Oh,
Georgia.
yeah, no, this ain't Chicago cold.
Right. I mean, listen,
This ain't Wisconsin.
he just protected, you know, he just makes sure you covered up well. But yeah, it ain't.
This ain't Buffalo, New York.
Right. right. It's just a little chilly. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna cover up for because here the sun is coming up. It's gonna probably be about 90 by midday. You know.
I hope so.
Yeah. You know, I had a
South
I had
Texas,
a-
it's cold.
I had let's call him a mentor, a friend out of Baltimore, that I met up in Atlanta though. He from Baltimore.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying, he was showing me just some construction work, you know, little carpentry here and there, some outlets, some stuff like that.
Right.
Or whatever. So me and dude kicking it, hanging tough. Like
Right.
he was in the same fraternity and everything. You know, so like I started liking bruh so much. I called my daddy, like it felt like I was betraying my daddy. Like, man, he's showing me some stuff, man. Like, but my daddy was like, you know, what he was trying to build was like my foundation.
Right.
You feel me? But like he was in so many words was saying basically, I can only do so much for you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
Right.
starting you to a certain point, and you know, others gonna build on top of that. And I think we need all kind of people to show us all type of things. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like
100%.
sometimes you might have a parent or somebody who couldn't really like, look, I tried to figure out this whole money thing and I couldn't figure it out. So I can't pass that on to you. You know what I'm saying? You gonna need somebody else in your life to show you that. I just don't have like Matt Jeans was talking about, like some people just don't have the skills or equipment or something like that. They're not equipped to help you in that situation, you know.
Right.
And that's if as I became a parent or I got more mature, that's one thing I want to do. I started taking it easy on my parents. You know what I'm saying? Like all this, what they couldn't do and all, you know, like forget all that, bro. You start watching the news and mama's putting kids in the oven. Like, I don't care what Jordans you couldn't buy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate that you did the best you could do
Right.
with
What
what
I
you
had.
had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So I
100%.
it's the first thing I started doing was appreciation. But once again, it's harder to do that as a kid because a lot of my stuff is just comparison. You know, Jim Rat, he got the shoes. You know, Buck, he got the shoes. You know, Boonjo got the shoes. Like, I don't got the shoes. That's all I'm seeing. They go to the school I go to. They mama 2 doors down, just like you.
Right.
I thought
How can I
all
get them
had the
shoes?
same financial situation. You mean to tell me somebody make more money than you next door? You know what I'm saying? So
How's that possible?
that's impossible.
I done got more
You
money
know what
than
I'm
us.
saying?
Right.
So like,
Right.
you know, you make these comparisons, and it's comparisons to other kids in other situations.
Right.
I didn't know that D Mama wasn't prioritizing her bills, and she was taking care of him before she was taking care of that. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Good.
and my people was like, well, we ain't gonna do that. You feel me? So
The lights
it's
got to be on.
yeah. Apparently, everybody like lights and pork chops. So it's important that we do that, but you just don't. You just don't see it, man. I called my mama one day in the grocery store when I was trying to buy some food. I'm like, I was asking for oxtail and all that. You know how much red meat costs, man? It's ridiculous. It's high. You feel me? So it's you don't really have to. I ain't gonna say it's impossible. I know some pretty amazing kids out there, but man, it's hard to even comprehend
Right.
what your parents do and going
Right.
through. You know what I mean?
True
In
indeed.
the moment, in the childhood.
Right. So
But I don't.
Kaneem.
I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. If Sharon, then I'm gonna get Kaneem's take on it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, just looking at that comparison thing,
Yeah.
that teaches a lot. You know, when
Right.
you're able to see other children and what they're experiencing versus what you're experiencing, it can paint a picture
Right.
Yeah.
in your mind of what your parents are doing versus what someone else is getting.
Right.
What we did, I think, as when I was a young person, I came up in a demographic where I don't care what your background was, it was all in the same bucket. If you lived in zip code 60901,
Right.
you was eating the same thing, shopping at the same stores,
Yeah.
Right.
same type of discipline. You know, it didn't matter whether you was white, black, purple, or green.
Right.
You lived in Kankakee,
Right.
and Kankakee was one pot. And we all pretty much was, even what was considered wealthy in Kankakee wouldn't be wealthy in New York.
Right.
Right. Right.
Right?
Right.
You were just
100%.
better than somebody. You might have had $100,000 more
Right.
than, you know, somebody who was at 16,000. I mean,
Right.
that's not a major gap economically when you really think about it. So we all looked alike for the most part.
Yeah.
But
Gotcha.
what I learned is when I got into sports, I saw fathers, and I noticed I didn't have a man
Mm.
in the stands, in
Right.
the audience, you
Right.
know, at the game, whatever the case. And
That's
so
what
that
you-
was different. And that,
Okay.
but that you didn't growing up, I didn't even notice that until I was older
Right.
and out in public, you know. And that's when we started asking the questions about our father. Like, how come we don't have one of those? Right. And then my mom, because we never noticed it. And so, like with my children growing up, I was kind of in a better position. I was able to show them how to give back.
Right.
We actually went to a shelter. You know, we've done feeding programs, and
Right.
they could see other children being recipients and recognize they were going through a hard time.
Yeah.
So and then come back to their home and see how they had it better.
Right.
So that helped them see things in a different light. You know, that not everybody looks the same. Not everybody's economic situation is the same. And so that brings about a thank you, mommy, thank you, daddy, you know, in a way that's different than someone who never saw that somewhere
Right.
else. So
Yeah.
comparison plays a lot in how you recognize your parents' efforts as well as young people.
Indeed. So Kaneem, from your standpoint, I know you started your your journey into adulthood pretty early. But as far as even before then, would you say you've seen some of your mom's effort as far as what she did or sacrificed? And then, of course, now with yours, do they see your effort? Do you feel like that way? Do you feel like that they see your effort?
Yes and no on both parts of that question. 'Cause,
Okay.
like my mama was she was a party girl, you know what I'm saying? So as far as prioritizing parenting,
Right.
that wasn't part of her resume back, you know, when I was young.
I got you.
I think she more tried to be a parent when I left home. When I left, when I moved out,
Right.
then she wanted to be, you know, sharing guidance and knowledge.
Why that though?
I guess for one, she kind of slowed down. She wasn't going out as much when I became a teenager, like say about 15, 16, something like that. So she had slowed, but she was still doing drugs, though. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Gotcha.
So she wasn't going out, but she was still doing drugs. So that still had priority
Right.
over parenting. So when I guess once I moved out and you know, when you used to, well, for those that raise kids when they leave and you know, you seeing somebody every night, every day. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that's common that you see.
Right.
You
Right.
know, so she was trying to share information because she knew I was out in the streets. And, you know, I'm out there. Like I'm
Right.
everywhere. Where you at? Oh, I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. What you doing out there? Who you know in Louisville?
Right.
Where you at? Oh, I'm in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Well,
Just
what
make
you
sure you're
doing?
making wise street decisions kind of thing. Like, hey, listen,
Yeah,
don't
yeah. You know what I'm
make better
saying?
decisions out there. I got you.
Yeah. So, you know, and like I said, it was interesting. But as I had my daughter,
Mm-hmm.
my oldest, I could see it as she got older, like, because when she came out, I think she was like 18, 19.
Right.
And she came here, and me and Alicia, we was together, and you know, she was telling Alicia, my daddy this, my daddy that, my daddy always give me this, my daddy always give me that. And I said, my daddy this, and she just blowing me. I'm not in the car. I'm not hearing these conversations.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm getting these from Alicia. You know what I'm saying? So she telling me, like, that's when you reflect, like, everything I did for her when she was young, it had a major impact on her.
Okay.
Mhm.
But I didn't know it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You was just doing.
Yeah, I was just doing it. But I was like, I didn't want that. I didn't want my childhood to be her childhood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was just doing. I was overcompensating. You know. So when I would go, because it was 3 times a year I would go to Texas.
Okay.
So one was to pick her up for the summer.
Uh-huh.
One was to drop her off for the summer
Okay.
because she stayed the summer with me, and then I would go for her birthday.
Okay.
So them 3 times a year I would do that. But every time when I bring her back home, I got a trunk full of clothes and shoes, and she got
to make up for the year.
And what's so funny about it, she got 3 sisters.
Ooh.
And ain't none of their dad is kind of like, you know, in their life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when I come in there with bags all up under my arms,
Right.
and she right next to me,
Yeah.
with bags all up under her arms.
Yeah.
And we walk in the door, and it's like, ooh.
Yeah. They be like, here they go.
I feel bad. I feel bad for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then when I come for her birthday, I pick her up. It's the same way. We know we go out, we do this, we do that,
Right.
and come back with bags up under my arms.
Right.
Yep.
She got bags up under her arms. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of crazy, man. But
Gotcha. Yeah. That's.
I didn't know the impact I had on her.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Until my wife told me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not like she told me.
Right.
This, that, blah, blah, blah. She had to tell somebody else.
Right.
Who in fact told me that I was the greatest.
But you know what's so crazy about that, bro? It's like it's the flip. I'm sitting here trying to see, you know, do they recognize, you know what I'm saying? But like I don't even recognize totally what landed and what didn't. Because I have, you know, sometimes your kids say things back to you, be like, out of all the wisdom I've been spitting, you remember the silly thing I said? Not, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? I was just clowning at that point.
Right.
You know,
right.
so
well, you said,
yeah,
you remember that?
Something Kaneem said, which it really resonated. You was talking about the fact that your daughter had 3 siblings.
Yeah.
That's that comparison that I was talking about. Yeah. She could recognize it because she had something to compare it to.
Yeah.
She had sisters whose fathers weren't really as engaged, as active.
Yeah.
Right. And
mind you, all 4 of them got different daddies.
Right. Right. And you're the one that's actually doing something. And the thing is, what's interesting is one person can say, man, Kaneem, he was on it. Another person could say, yeah, but what about the whole rest of the year?
Right.
Yeah.
You understand? But hear my point. Because I'm like, what I'm saying is it's always about, that's why you can't put it on a child.
Yeah.
We just have to appreciate it because children don't know. They don't know how to, they're not mature enough to really understand. They can tell you how it makes them feel. And the fact that she held on to that all those years, her level of maturity held on. I mean, as she matured, she held on to what her father was doing, so it helped her appreciate it even more as she got older.
Yeah.
But like, and that's good, because if she would have told your wife the opposite, it's like it doesn't take away from the work and the effort that you did put forth. You understand what I'm saying? Because
Right. No, it doesn't. Right.
It would affect you, but it's like it doesn't take away from the effort that you still did. That's deep. Because I thought about that.
I'd like to know what the interaction was with her and her sisters when she came in with all that stuff.
I would love to hear that.
Well,
Probably was petty.
I put it like, if it would have been the flip,
Right.
and I was horrible, and I was this and I was that,
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think she would have even been down here. I don't think she would have been. I don't think she would have wanted to come.
I got you.
Yeah.
You don't. I don't think
I got what you're saying.
it would have been like an experience I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to go hang out with my dad. I'm looking for. I don't think it would have been that way.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it had such a great impact.
Yeah.
I knew we had a good relationship.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was in her mind that I was
Like
Superman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't know that part.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I got what you're saying.
that's what took me back, and
yeah,
and
that's good.
it felt good,
Yeah, man.
but and on the flip side of that, she still had some issues that she was trying to deal with because of her living situation
Right.
with her mother. You know what I'm saying? So but for my younger kids now, I think that I won't know until they have matured and got out and in the world and seen what was going on. Because right now, I know they don't appreciate nothing.
Yeah, that's all I know. That's all I know.
But that goes back to the point I was making before. Like, you don't know until they're old enough to be able to effectively express it.
I won't know that until they get older. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I give them all the love and encouragement and knowledge and guidance, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I just think about it, like when they get to a certain age, will I have that much of an impact on them? I don't know.
Right.
I think that for me, and again, consistency is fantastic. And like my mom put in there, she said, most dads are Superman in their daughter's eyes. That's true. Yeah. And what most dads don't understand is that it don't take a whole lot. Yeah. Yeah. But yet it takes everything.
Right.
And you don't know until they grow, until they mature.
I feel the Father's Day cards. Yeah.
She said they share how they feel in your birthday and Father's Day cards. Right.
Oh, he said he got the. I don't know about that. All right.
Came to you later, huh, Jeff? I ain't mad at you, man.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I think like I said, and that's true. You don't know the full scope of the impacts you made until they get older and they share certain things and things they remember. And I think that matters a lot. I feel like I don't feel like my children's may not see it, but you just have those moments like you just want more. I need a little more appreciation. But I will say for my children do recognize like my birthday and Father's Day, and they always collaborate with my wife. She's like, sometimes they remind and and they say certain things, but I don't feel like they necessarily don't see it. Sometimes you just want to see it. Sometimes in their efforts to help, like, can you just do the chores? Like that's showing that you care about the team.
Yeah. They don't see it that way. Like, no, that's just sweeping the kitchen.
Yeah.
Right.
Chores. Why
we gotta watch your car?
I don't see the point in doing chores. I don't like it. It don't make sense.
I gotta clean up the kitchen, but like my room over here.
Yeah.
Why I gotta do that? I think about it because when I was their age, I did the same thing.
Right.
I did the same exact thing. You know what I'm saying? So I be telling my wife that all the time. I say I'm mad, I'm upset, I'm disappointed, I'm this, I'm that. But you know what? I did the same thing. When
And you felt the same way. Like, this is
I
dumb.
felt the same way. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mine
like,
I
I wonder
just did
did I make
every
my mom
Saturday.
feel like that?
Yeah.
Did I make my mom feel like that? Probably did. I probably did.
Hey, good morning, Keto. He said, Jeff said, yeah, your appreciation comes when you're 114, right?
You know, he was all right. I tell you, he was a good guy. Like,
Children dumb. Why we keep cleaning this stuff?
yeah.
Like,
It's
who was
clean.
cleaning my room when I was 2?
Right.
I tell Alicia that all the time. Like, it's like I'm like a broken record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I told that boy, I don't know why he ain't do it. I
Yeah.
told her why they ain't do it. I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna do it either.
Listen, I've gotten to the point like with my my children, like in cleaning the room, they don't want me coming in there because I flip it like, you know, like a prison, you know, mattresses flying, trash, everything in the middle of the room. Now do something about that stuff.
Yeah.
You don't want me coming in. No, I got it, Dad. We got it. We're gonna clean. We're gonna clean.
I don't even do that. That's a too much exercise. I go in there and I just start taking electronics.
Oh,
And then they be like, what?
Yeah.
Well, when can I get it back? When
Right.
can I get it back? I said, when I go in there and I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
When can I get it? Hey, start
You-
moving then.
I want you to have it. Matter of fact.
right.
Hey,
Right.
then I get questions. Is there anything else? Can you see anything else out of order?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not telling you nothing, but I figure it out.
Right.
That's it.
You know what it is.
Figure it
Figure
out.
it out.
That's it right there.
Figure it out.
Like, my daughter comes like, Dad, I cleaned my room. You did? It's clean.
Yeah.
And then she turns and walks away.
Yeah.
Let me go look again.
Yeah. One more
Hey,
time.
go ahead, go double. Because if I come in there, it's gonna be real. I'm not coming in there.
Yeah. I'm snatching
If
the
I
Wi-Fi
gotta come
cord.
in there every 5 minutes to
Right.
be like, pick this up, pick that. Oh, I'm not doing that. I'm
Looking
not
like,
doing
no,
that.
it's not.
You know what clean look like.
Right. Don't you? I thought we did. Then we had the
Yeah,
conversation.
Is it your clean or is it my clean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Then I go in there and I point out something. As soon as I walk in the door, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that. I just turn around and go back to where I
That's
was.
it. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Every time I walk in the room,
but-
turn right around and walk out.
But
I don't want to hear no butts.
he said, Jeff said, I can't think of one chore I had to do that I thought made sense. he, said,
Yeah. Right.
he said, now my kids are both clean freaks. All right. Well, they took it to the next level to where I got to take my shoes off when I go to my daughter's.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter like that.
Wow.
It took
My
my
daughter like
first
that.
semester of college to understand everything my daddy was saying. Them boys live like Vikings. You hear
Yes.
me? I'm like,
Yes.
now hold on.
Yes.
We can't
And
do
yes.
this. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what's the semester? 12 weeks at my daddy house, and I was like, oh no, we can't do this.
Right.
If you gonna smoke, you gonna put it in the ashtray. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? We got it. But it was horrible.
Yeah, that college experience tells the tale.
Yes.
If you taught your children to clean, no matter how much they complain,
Yeah.
if they got connected with a roommate that wasn't trained the same way,
Right.
Yeah.
oh, I've heard those stories. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Daddy. Oh my Lord.
So
Yeah,
nasty.
try to tell you.
Yeah.
That's how my oldest boy when he got in his dorm room, he would take pictures on how clean his stuff was.
Wow.
Why you ain't want to do that at home?
Yeah,
He didn't want to be embarrassed out there in them streets though. Like
Man.
you have other folks coming. That boy room was pristine.
Yeah.
my daughters are sending pictures of meals that they cook while they're at college. I'm like, oh, I never saw that on my table.
Yeah.
They would cook, but now they done got real creative since.
Nice.
Oh, I understand.
Nice. That's awesome. So yeah, definitely you can notice the difference as they get older. And I give my children a little credit. I want to dog them all the way. There's been moments like I come home and they're like, Dad, we did the bathroom, we did the room, and I didn't have to take anything. I didn't even have to threaten. Nothing. I just came home and it was just, done. Probably because they knew the routine. Like, I'm gonna start threatening, I'm gonna start doing, like, we're gonna beat you to the punch. We're gonna do the work first. you know. So they did pretty good. They did pretty
That's a
good. I
good
had to high
thing.
five.
You know,
I,
that's not a good
I,
thing.
I had to give my kids some credit too, man. But I mean, but it's from a previous threat. But I had to give them some credit, you know
Does
what
it
I'm saying?
count? Kind of counts.
I mean,
Count.
you doing what you're supposed to do,
Right.
but I ain't gotta give you that little nudge. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you know, after maybe a few weeks, maybe a month,
Cool.
go back to that same old routine about being lax on what you're supposed to be doing. Like, oh, okay.
Right.
But at the same time, my friend want to know, can I go to this party on Friday night, Saturday night? Can you drop me off my I want to go over here. I'm like, but I want you to go in there and do that laundry. I want you to go in there and clean that living room.
Right.
What about what I want? But
what about me?
Why you always got to say that? Why you always got to bring that up?
my daughter just be like, stop. She won't even say a whole bunch of words. She know when I be going in, I'll be like, she's just be like, stop.
I'm thinking about the cleaning part. It transfers over so well because that's like what we exposed to, or we exposed them to. You know what I'm saying? That because that was one of our core responsibilities. As soon as you was old enough to make your own bed, you've been cleaning something, right? But like I think that's kind of why the money don't always transition as well. You know what I mean? Like my college speech right before I went to college was, don't, you know, they're gonna offer you some credit cards. Don't buy nothing you can't pay back that month. All right, call me when you get back to Jacksonville. You know what I'm saying? But for 18 years, I done got, you know, it was no secrets about cleaning. I know about 409. I know how to mix bleach, and you know, all that is full disclosure. But you know what I'm saying? The finances, you know what I'm saying? That one, you know, stay in a child's place. That ain't your business. You know what I'm saying? You know, I didn't see checks necessarily. We burnt some of my mama had like a little hiding spot on this little lamp, and you know, she turned it on, got too hot, and burned up some money. You know what I'm saying? We, you know, so we found that out by accident. So I learned that you hide money around the house. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like it was this full financial, disclosure. So, you know, they taking care of business, but it wasn't like, I'm just saying, if they exposed us to that as much as they did cleaning and all these other things, how much more so would that have caught on my first semester? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, for me, it was.
I will say I learned to pay bills real early, man.
Okay.
Real early. I think I was maybe 18, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm
15.
talking about light bill, gas bill, water bill, groceries,
All that.
I had to learn to pay bills, but I didn't learn how to budget though.
Right.
That was my whole thing. I learned to pay the bills.
Right.
And you can ask my wife. Hey, when we first met, bro, I was paying all my bills ahead of time. All my utility companies were sending me back checks.
You got
You got
credit.
a credit. You got credit.
Too much money. We can't keep all this money.
Yeah.
And they sending me back checks. Like, why you always doing that? She was like, hey, I'm just making sure. That's what it was when I first got it.
Yeah.
So I just kept paying the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Just kept paying the same thing. I was
right.
Yeah.
Whether it was up or high, I was like, hey, they sending me checks back. I was like, oh, okay. But you know what I'm saying? But my whole thing was pay your bills on time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I made sure I paid my bills on time. That was my
thing was pay the ones that call you.
Yeah. Stop them.
He said pay the one.
Yeah, I learned.
You call first. You won. You win. You get the money first.
I lived there when my mama had all them debt collectors calling her boy. So I knew I ain't want that headache because she was robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like, I think I'll pay this. I'll pay this. I'll pay this. Right. They had to wait on their money. It'll double up.
True story. So, wintertime, Kankakee, Illinois. It's the winter. My mother has 4 sons. Was Gary born? Maybe 3 or 4. And I'll never forget, we were living on Greenwood. And I don't remember it happening. I just remember the story, my mother telling the story to her friends.
Okay.
That they were coming to cut our gas off in the middle of winter.
Wow.
My mother's story is this, and I quote, I grabbed a butcher knife and I went outside. I stood in there. I said, if you try to cut this heat off,
man. So you ain't gonna be on thing getting cut. Oh,
It's gonna be your
you're
last
gonna feel like
action.
nub.
it's always a
And-
good story where they got a butcher knife in it.
Hey, like I heard that story, and and like when I heard it, we were older,
Right.
Probably in our teens, and I'm trying to figure out how you didn't go to jail.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But she said we didn't get our gas cut off.
Yeah.
That's how hard it was. But again, that I'm talking about a single parent
Yeah.
in her 20s with 3 children or maybe 4 children at home, working on, early childhood education money.
Yeah.
No, you wasn't cutting her bill. You wasn't cutting her gas off.
Did she take the butcher knife to school?
Say it again.
Did she take the butcher knife to school as well? That's the real question, Mama McCoy.
Mama Corey, you on
Where
here.
else did it go?
You take the butcher knife to school. Don't worry.
Yeah. Statute of limitation over. You good?
Yeah, but Kaneem, obviously, like I had my mom's checkbook when I was still in high school.
Okay.
Like I was getting her paycheck and walking to the bank and depositing her paycheck. So she had me doing that kind of stuff when I was like 15 and 16. So it got me exposed to it. And later on, when I got into the military,
He said,
you got all these young guys out here, not at school. Got all these young guys out here who didn't know the first thing about managing a checkbook.
Right.
And I was like down to the dime with mine. And I'll never forget, my sergeant was like, man, you keep a checkbook better than anybody here. He's like, you keep a checkbook better than me. He goes, where did you? I'm like, yeah, my mom. And I'll never forget that. I don't know if I ever shared that with my mom. She's hearing it now for the first time. But I got kudos for properly balancing the checkbook when I was in basic training.
Oh,
And it was because of the exposure that she had given me when
look
I
at
was
that, Mama. You didn't even have to wait till 114 to get that one.
Yeah. I don't know if I ever told you that, Mom.
Is there something that you wish you would have been exposed to?
Mm.
That's a tough question, man. What I wish, I wish I would have known more about, like to Kaneem's point, budgeting. I wish I had known more about budgeting because my mom paid whoever screamed the loudest.
Yeah, squeaky wheel
Right.
get the grease.
Yeah, that's how it was, and that's something that I picked up, and I ended up bankrupt before I realized how important it was. I ended up being behind in taxes because my mom, she didn't think about stuff like that. She was just trying to get us through to the next month, and so I missed all of that stuff, and I learned the hard way. File taxes. I paid taxes, but I didn't file taxes. In my early life, I probably went 5-6 years, had never filed taxes, and that came back.
I did that. IRS came after me.
Yeah.
You owe us $14,000. I said, what? $14,000? Hey, I went to CVS and I tried to buy some medication. I was trying to get my medication, and and they said your card been declined. I said, hold on, I just got paid yesterday.
Right.
I went to the ATM. Insufficient funds. Contact your financial institution. I said, what? I called the bank. Bank said the IRS has levied your account.
Yeah.
I said, what?
Hate that conversation.
I call IRS. They said you owe $14,000 and some change. How would you like to pay this? I said, what?
First question. Take all that in.
It had the nerve to say answer change.
I said,
take the change off, man.
Take the change. I got the change. I got that change.
hold on. I say, I'm on dialysis. I need my medication. I need this. I need that. She was like, how much you need? I said, I got to pay my rent. She said, how much you need? I said, my rent is $700. She said, okay, how much you need to pay your utilities? I said, I need probably about $400. She said, how much you need to pay? Now, she divvying out my money.
Yeah.
How much?
He was on the shift working with me. Yeah.
Now you need
That's it, right?
money for
The rest you
groceries.
keep
I
it.
was like, yeah, I need money. She said, all right,
I
we
get
gonna release. Now release my money. We
yeah.
gonna release $1,800.
That's it.
Ooh. Wow.
I said, bro, I don't know, I probably had about $7,000. We're gonna release $1,800. I was like, oh man. And then they put me on a payment plan.
Oh, that's tough.
Hey, $375 a month for 5 years.
Oof.
I was like, God. Well, when I paid that last $375, I was so happy. I went out and celebrated. I was like, oh yes. Like, when the IRS come for you, better listen. Ignore them if you want to.
Yeah.
Oh, so you ignored them? Okay. You got
I mean,
I
wasn't. But this when I first started working.
No, I got it. I got it.
I didn't have no knowledge and
I got it.
no
I mean,
stuff like that.
I'm just
that's
saying,
kind of
like,
stuff
I
I
didn't
wish
know
I
they
was.
just came for you like that.
I wish
Okay.
I would have been exposed to that part. I wish I would have taken my career more serious. You know what I'm saying? Because like I kind of fell into that trap a little bit too when I was just getting a job, and like I really thought like this big old government, like they surely ain't paying attention to me making this little FedEx money, but they want their money in cash. You know what I'm saying? I wish I would have paid more attention to that. You know, pensions, 401. I probably, I had some connections at the post office, never took advantage of them. You know what I mean? So like, if I could have been exposed to like, hey, how are you gonna make your living? What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? I would have had an appreciation for my age. I could have threw 10 years at a job easily. You know what I'm saying? And still had enough time to change my career twice. You feel what I'm saying? So like, if I would have taken all that serious, my taxes, 401k, all those different advantages, you know what I mean, stayed away from some of them credit cards, it would have been like the big financial picture. I'm kind of like y'all, like, I paid my bills,
I think the main thing, and this could be like a whole topic, but I think it's just what's the goal? You know what I'm saying? Because we, instead of just living and having a paycheck and bill to bill, or one thing to the other, like, what's your goal? Like, what are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to save? What do you want to get into? Because for the most part, all of us here are now trying to get into more an investment vehicle to get a residual kind of income. Like, where can I stick my money that'll give me back a good gain, a good return that I don't have to bust my hump for? Like, oh, here, you take that 10 G's and you turn into 20, that turns into 30. You know what I'm saying? Like, things of that nature. Like, if we come out the gate with, what's the goal or what's the plan? Because budgeting is the key, but it's like, what are you budgeting for?
I'm gonna tell you like this. This dude told me, whenever you can stop exchanging your time for money,
right,
you have made it.
That's the goal. And I think if we start off like that,
exchanging my time for money is something that's what I strive for. That's what I strive for me and the wife. I mean, and the kids, because if they see us doing it, we can teach them how to do it. You know what I'm saying?
They could be out of that game by 30.
Well, I'm trying to set it up where they'll be out of their game before 25. You know what I'm saying? Because my whole mindset. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And this is not for those that believe in education, but I don't think that going to school for 4 to 8 years, getting a degree in whatever you choose, that degree in whatever you choose is a piece of paper that says I'm going to work for somebody for some amount of time to allow me to live a life with a ceiling or whatever y'all going to pay me. Now, that's just me now. Some people get a degree and they become entrepreneurs, and that's their stepping stone.
Yeah.
But for most of us, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to get this degree. I'm going to go into this field. I'm going to do this. I'm going to have this job. You know what I'm saying? And but your income is limited by what your position pays.
I'm not a big school fan myself. Not the traditional path. Not the traditional sense that it's the only path to make it. If you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, if you go into a specialized subject, you need to go. I don't want my doctor staying at a Holiday Inn. I get it. Go to school 8 years. But like, if you're going for 4 years, you major in criminal justice, then you end up being working at the bank. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's like, what's that 4 years worth it?
I think, but this goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. What's the plan? What's the goal? Right. So it's about, like, Kadeem, you want your children to be set. Like, we all want our children to be set where they're not breaking their back, like you said, past 25, past 30. They've leveraged and they got money coming in.
Yeah.
But it's
but now I know.
Right.
I the knowledge I know, if I can get them to buy into it.
Yeah.
Your credit is your key to entrepreneurship.
Right.
If you don't have credit, you cannot, unless
you gotta have a whole bunch of cash.
Yeah, thank you. But your credit is your foundation to entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
I think and entrepreneurship is the key, because you want them to be business minded, money minded, financially sound.
In this day and age of technology, yes, man.
Yeah. So
Too
what I
many
feel
ways
like
to make money.
with the degree, and I hear what you're saying on the degree part, like, but if I'm spending 4 years to get a specific degree with a specific plan, so I can financially have money coming in to leverage the things that I want to do as far as business, I have the leverage to invest. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I get what you're saying, because you get licenses, you have specialized degrees, you have specialized certificates. I think if you are in the mindset of wanting to do a specific thing, yes, I think my thing is just going into college with a plan. That's my main thing.
But I see what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think what I'm opposed to is the traditional sense that says to go to college is the only way.
Right. Well,
you know what I'm saying? What you saying, I can get with.
Yeah.
I'm working a plan, and guess what? College seems to be college is a part of my plan. When I got across that stage in high school, it was like, all right, college or the military. You feel me?
Right.
And if it wasn't college, military, what do you call it? Not trade school, all that was the loser option, because you weren't college material. I got a nephew. My boy struggled through high school. Why is he gonna get to 12th grade? And I said, well, I guess that means it's more time for college for you. Like, it was already a struggle. You know what I'm saying? I need to find another path.
Right.
But my oldest daughter, she just loves education. She loves to learn.
Right. My daughter,
I think she would just be upset if she didn't go to college. All right, cool. That's your path. But it was the way it was presented to us was college or you ain't nothing. And I don't think that's the case for me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, there's other options, and
And I would for those that want to go to college, I would encourage that, because the college experience is, because I went to college for a little while, you know what I'm saying? But the college experience is awesome.
Yeah, 100%.
So if you go there and you get into there and you socialize, because some of your college friends will be your friends for life.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you are mature enough to know what a friend really is.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying don't go to college.
Right.
I'm just saying, for those that have struggled in education as a youngster in high school, college is not going to, instead of you spending that money and you're not going to get the degree, but you're going to get the debt.
Yes, you are.
Don't even go into that. You know what I'm saying? So, but college ain't for everybody. And I think that now in 2022, it's so many ways to make money, livable wage money, without going to college. Because I'm seeing 18, 19 folks under 21 is making $100,000 a year, and all they doing is chilling. Really, they ain't doing too much.
They gaming.
You know what I'm saying?
The influence.
And they got folks my age that's making $100,000 a year, that's got the same schedule Monday through Friday. You know what I'm saying? you doing 8 to 10 hours a day, but you still you leveraging your time for a wage. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends. You know what I'm saying? But for those who gonna go to college, wonderful experience. I mean, you're gonna gain a lot of relationships that's gonna last you a lifetime. But for those that don't, there are plenty of ways to make cash.
Yeah,
indeed. All right, Pastor, did you want to share something before we get out?
I'm too long-winded.
No,
all right, then. Listen, we appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you for rocking with us another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I need you guys to share, and share my numbers have dropped some. Y'all not, my topics off? Let me know. Let me know. I'm open to criticism, or they just hating on me. It's one or the other. So let me know. Make sure. I appreciate those that are here. Jeff, thank you. He said, "Come on, Pastor." Come say, "Thank you."
So all I will say is, like, my wife is finishing a PhD, a doctorate.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have a degree.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not degreed.
Right.
Yeah.
And every single one of my peers
Are degreed.
are degreed.
Yeah.
No less than 6 years of college.
Right.
Yeah.
So the money that I make is good entrepreneurial money.
Yeah.
But it's also, for some, CEO money.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So college isn't absolutely mandatory
Right.
to be successful.
No, it's not mandatory. Indeed.
And I'm grateful that my children see both sides. They have a mother who's degreed,
Right.
overly degreed,
Right.
and successful, and they have a father who is not degreed and successful
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
in corporate America, but who still is looking to develop his entrepreneurial aptitude
Right.
Yeah.
and desires. Because I'm saying it doesn't matter how much money I make, it's still somebody else's name, somebody else's signature on my paycheck.
Right.
But I'm grateful to God for giving me what He has given me, but it's still somebody else's signature on the paycheck.
Right.
And also it doesn't say what I'm trying to propose is that there's multiple paths, because the challenge that you'll face as an entrepreneur, some can't handle it.
Right.
If you 19 and still struggle to make your bed and get out of the house before 11 o'clock, maybe you owning your own business won't be the best thing either. So
On your own time, right.
what I'm saying is kind of like, it sounds different, but it's what AD's saying is have that plan,
Right.
but you got to know yourself.
Yeah.
You feel me? Don't be signing up for jobs, that you can't fulfill. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Don't sell stuff that you ain't got on. It's like, I'm just saying some simple stuff. But if that's not your makeup, if you can't regulate yourself in a classroom setting, and then you go to college thinking that the teacher gonna send you to the principal office, it don't work like that no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you think you can have a business and just, I see barbers do it all the time. They think because they don't have a clock in, clock out schedule, they could just show up whenever and treat people. It's how are you set up and choose a path from that?
All right. All right, gentlemen.
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go ahead, get ready to close out. Let me read this last comment that Jeff said. My dad barely passed high school, and he ended up owning a business that still supports generations after. All right,
Amen.
that's it. That's
Amen.
all that needs to be said. So
Amen.
we appreciate you guys for being here. Another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. Thankful Thursday, Friday Junior, Friday Eve, whatever you want to call it. Appreciate you guys for being here. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. So listen, tomorrow, if all of my brothers can come through, and Kaneem, Crucial Conflict. Didn't we do Crucial Conflict already? We need a new name, brother.
Yeah, I was.
I know.
That's a really good group. They had some good songs. I wish they would.
I have no idea who they are. I'm gonna have to check them out. No idea. Zero.
Hey, in the middle of the barn. All the black colleges play it. No.
Oh, like I said, I think I knew the song, but I just didn't know who they were. All right.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you guys for being here. Yeah, if you guys can show up tomorrow, if you guys can be here, we're gonna play a game. If Kaneem, if you're out and about, then you won't be able to play the game like I would like to be a part of. But if you're home, that'll be awesome. But we're gonna. My goal is to play a game on with Corey. I know she always liked the games, so I'm gonna try to play a game tomorrow, lighten it up. So I appreciate you guys for being here. Another edition of Brothers Legacy. Be sure to stay safe. Know that we love you. Jesus loves you more. Dial 988 if you or someone else is having a mental health crisis. And if you are on the text community, you got an opportunity you can give through the text community as well. You can actually give through the text community. You'll see the link below, and just $2. That's it. So we appreciate you guys. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for being here. He said I got an excuse. I'm white. Don't you worry. So we'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Be blessed. That's it.
All right, fellas. I have a good one.